Sorry. I already opened it.
We back.
It's been a long time. We back, and we're as tuned in as ever.
It is 9:09 Eastern Time, just under the 10-minute you can leave the classroom if the professor has not shown up. That every one of us made up, and Anish just gave a quizzical look like he's never heard that. You know why? Because Anish was a good student, right? And that's what that's about.
He wouldn't jump out of there. You and I'd be gone. We'd be gone at the 9th minute.
Like,
you said 10 minutes.
It's the Boil Sports Handsome Hour, and since what have we missed? Let's see. There's no Pac-12 anymore, right? No, I guess that's not true. There's a Pac-2.
It's the last year, but there are it's a 50% chance of winning it.
There's no Pac-12. I was going to list all the teams that have changed conferences, but we only have an hour. Nick Saban retired. Pat McAfee barfed in Dublin over the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, that's great.
I heard about this.
Great programming. What you should do is just lay off, like.
Doesn't he get paid like $13 million a year?
Yeah,
sure.
And so ESPN is now cash strapped, and so this they
that's who they're paying for. Is guys like him.
Mass layoffs of production team. Meanwhile, Pat McAfee just pukes on the air. I'm sorry. It's a great way to open the show. Continue.
I'm just going through the things that I'm catching everybody up. Coach Walters, I'm estimating, did about 400 deadlifts and 1,200 curls.
Yeah,
good. Does that sound about right?
It looks great.
It's great having a coach who's a decade younger than us. Not younger than Anish, but
no, he's not younger than me. Not
close.
Yet, at least. Not
close.
Yet.
You think you'll catch him, Anish?
You guys are.
I mean, you never know. Yeah,
yeah.
Not with the I'm gonna have the attitude go out and win every game. So sure, eventually.
Sure.
And the true college football playoff that everybody has wanted is actually here now. And I will just say right now, I'm not usually the ultra traditionalist here, but I think we're not going to like this as much as we think we're going to like. I'm just going to throw that out there.
As much as what?
As much as we all thought we were going to. Everybody thought this solves a lot, and I don't know if it solves a
I
whole
think
lot.
it's better than it doesn't solve it. Like it's going to be kind of gross.
I hate to quote the people who were the traditionalists who acted like the bowl system was the best. But one thing that they were all right about is that every week was amazing because of the fact that if you lost at all, you were screwed. Probably.
But
right?
but there's more big games now because of the realignments. Though. That's the counterbalance to that. And it's legit. Like every week has huge game after huge game after huge game, right? It's wild. You look at the
yes.
How many weeks did you have last year where you're like, okay, I'm not leaving my couch because it's going to be amazing? 5, 4, right?
Right.
This year, it's like 10 weeks of that.
Yes.
And so there's going to be so many big matchups that you lose one. Okay, now you're on short notice. Everything's tenuous though, right? Everything is. It doesn't matter what it is.
It feels like it's just going to all be. Yeah, it's just it could fall all apart next year. Be totally different.
Utah's coach, right? What was that 2 weeks ago saying? Oh, we're not done with realignment. More is coming. I think it was Utah's coach.
Oh yeah, and last week,
finally something different.
It doesn't really have much
laurels.
It doesn't really have much to do with football, but it's like UConn. The UConn to the Big 12 rumors have already started, which is great.
Yep.
Right. Let's go.
Yeah, but I've lost track. Do they need another team? Are they back to 12? I think
they are at 14 now.
They're 14.
Remember how they were 10 for a while?
Yeah.
That was my favorite. I've said this to you guys, right? When the Big 10 was 12 and the Big 12 was 10.
And the Pac-12 was 14.
That's great. It all makes sense.
It was great.
It's like explaining the rules of English to a non-native English speaker.
Right.
Like imagine explaining these rules.
Imagine if you just landed here and it's the Big 10. That seems simple enough.
Yeah, 10 teams.
It's not even regionally like the dumb ACC with teams from California.
Right. No.
Somebody told me that's now all Coast Conference.
Yeah, it's all Coast. No, it's all of the coasts.
They didn't change it officially though. They wanted to keep the.
Soon it will include the coast of probably Texas. And they'll just say, well, yeah, the team's down
Costa Rica's got a coast.
That's right.
Gotta read the name.
They've got a great med school in Costa Rica.
You were talking about, big matchups and teams, if you lose one, you still got another one coming up, or maybe you don't. What if you were a big team with big aspirations and you were playing sort of a middling opponent in week 0 and you lost? What would that do to your team?
How about if you played a middling opponent in a conference you said, the problem was we didn't have enough tough opponents. How much justice is served?
Man, when that game started and it was close early, I remember I said to you guys later, I said, I was going to say to you guys this morning, man, Georgia Tech has the chance to do something so funny today.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't say it because I'm like, that's not going to happen. And it did. And it
So
did.
good.
If it's on foreign soil, it doesn't matter. We were talking about this, and it's hilarious. It's still number 2 in the most hilarious Ireland game that's ever happened, because number 1 is Nebraska with sky-high Scott Frost expectations coming in, losing to Northwestern. I think still Fat Fitzgerald, Northwestern.
Fat Fitzgerald?
Yeah, and then Northwestern proceeding to go defeated in the United States.
Defeated? They didn't win on U.S. soil.
No, unless like Wembley Stadium or wherever they played in Dublin is like
Pretty sure it's not.
Next.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, it's hilarious. That continues to be number 1.
You're chumming the waters. You're bringing Nebraska up this early.
Oh, we'll be doing.
What are we?
We're
6
back,
minutes
baby.
into
We're
the
back.
season, and you're bringing up Nebraska?
You watched my prediction about Nebraska. There were a lot of people that made a note that this must make Jay angry that you just kind of say, yeah, Purdue's going to lose to Nebraska. They thought you would be upset with that.
I don't think they're going to lose to Nebraska.
Good.
The game's
Good.
at home.
That's good.
Nebraska.
I'm glad to hear that.
I think they're going to be more. I mean, they're obviously more competent. Like that.
I think they're more competent.
They're going to be good. Like I do think.
And the talent didn't shut off. Like there's just so many reasons to believe that
good meaning
Nebraska.
fine.
Like last year,
they're not.
They had the same coach and they had the talent, and they went 5-7.
First year of the system. I'm going to use the Nebraska and the Purdue theorem here at the same thing. I think both programs take a step forward. Purdue's step forward maybe gets you to the edge of maybe flirting with a bowl game. Nebraska, you get 7 to 8 wins.
Wow.
And every team that Matt Rule takes over, except for the Carolina Panthers, every college football team that Matt Rule takes over usually tanks in the first year.
Let's be honest, though. The Panthers have been worse since he left.
I mean, exactly.
That
might not be causation. That might
so
just.
I don't know.
That might be
and that is such a poorly run. The ownership is so bad there. Actually, I'm not. I wouldn't pin all that on Matt Rule.
Pittsburgh's own David Tepper owns the Carolina Panthers, and he's bad.
Cesspool.
He's really.
Is that better?
Ooh, bring it closer. Bring it in closer, baby. The red shirt really brings out the blood in your face.
It's the crazed look too that does it.
you look like anger from inside out.
It's when you look through. Sorry. When you look through the people and the guy's there for his Coke pickup.
Yeah.
You in there?
I was just trying to match the intensity. You got a lot coming at me, Jay. It's like you're just like you're ready for the season. Look at you are leaning in. You're leaning in.
Funny is you just said you're calling for 7 to 8 wins for Nebraska, which does feel like that'd be a big step forward. Yeah. But the hilarious part is that's still so far behind what they think they
Oh, I know.
I was asking, so I quizzed a friend of mine, a Purdue guy, on. Do you know, can either of you name the last coach to win 9 games? Even 9 at Nebraska.
Pelini.
It's got to be Bo.
That's what he said. Mike Riley went 9-4 in his first season there.
Haven't I fallen for this one before? I feel like I've fallen for this one.
I only have so many Nebraska trivia questions.
Exactly. After all, you're not really the Nebraska authority that you
I just like to talk about them.
You just hate
so
them
much. Oh man.
Yeah.
By the way, over in the comments, Dillon says he's excited for annual hugs.
Yes.
From us.
And it'll be early.
How about weekly? I don't know what annual hugs.
Yeah, there's multiple opportunities. So.
Oh yeah. Yes, Ted Berkey says Riley. He is correct. They won. I love that. I love pointing that out to Nebraska fans too. You know that about me. I just love to.
Yeah.
The last coach who brought you to those heights.
And they acted like it never even happened, by the way. Right. The Riley era is just
they've run out every coach who won 9 games there.
Right.
Going way back to Frank Solich. Anyway, this isn't the Nebraska Hour. You guys see? Niche just wound me up.
We're back, baby. We're back.
Okay, here, I'm going to use Riley as a segue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're going to stand on him and drive.
Yeah, tilting and stuff. Yep.
Oh,
the Oregon. Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, that's very
took it what the flash, the old school tube light,
The little
just
the
flickered and then
synapse.
boom.
You
It
saw
was
it
good. It was good. I was constituting my question, so I couldn't really. It just hit my brain slower. That was funny, Jay. Sorry, now I'm still laughing. Okay. Oregon State, since Riley is a former Oregon State guy, my opinion is the season pivots on the Oregon State game, the Purdue season, to switch away from the Nebraska hour.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I get
simple
what you
statement.
mean. I get what you mean. No, I don't think it. I understand totally what you mean. I don't want to step on your point. I think it's a very valid point, and I think your point is well taken. They win this weekend, and then they win there. You feel great about the season, even if things don't go swimmingly the rest of the way. You feel good. Okay, we've won on the road. We've won far from home, off to a 2-0 start. Right? Like you'd feel that would be it, right? They're the second game, right? They're they're next weekend.
Not next, but because it's the strange bye week, and then
Should we have the schedule up in front of us?
Exactly. There's Notre Dame. There's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Exactly. Indiana State bye week, Notre Dame, Oregon State.
Then Oregon State. Okay, I thought Oregon State was before Notre Dame.
After an upset of Notre Dame, Purdue will head to.
Right. So they'll already be 2-0 when they go.
So then beware the letdown.
Yeah.
That would be. Oh gosh!
Holy
can
crap.
you see a more Purdue scenario? Like, beat Notre
take
Dame
it.
and lose.
I'd take it.
I'll take it. Exactly. I would too.
Exactly.
I think I would surmise a guess that everyone watching would take that.
The home win over Notre Dame and a loss.
And then the loss.
Yes. Absolutely, you take that trade.
Exactly. Because
Notre
Dame.
You don't hate Oregon State. You'd be like, good for you guys. You have the shit end of the stick here up in.
And everybody is like, man, Oregon State's kind of like in limbo right now. Like, obviously their program is, but literally, has there ever been anything more in limbo than Oregon State right now?
I've been very close to buying an Oregon State home field apparel shirt. Because there are a few of them that are lovely, and it's like, the next sale, like maybe if Purdue wins or loses, who knows?
Who's what? I mean, there's nothing unlikable. They're not Oregon.
No, they're not unlikable. They're not unlikable.
Yeah, like.
In fact, you got to kind of love them because they're the anti-Oregon in the same area, right? I mean, like if you like all that is decent and good, because like Oregon is. I don't know if I'm going to say this now. I don't know if you guys heard about the Phil Knight's grand statement about the NIL. Phil Knight said, I'm getting old because I think he's 80 something.
Yeah.
He said, I don't have much more time left, so I'm willing to pay anything in NIL to get a championship.
Yep.
Just came right out and said it. And I was like, holy crap. Think about that statement. And by the way, they haven't lost a recruiting battle since. They have not lost.
It's going to be close this year. Like this year, I mean, and you talked about it in your season
very
preview.
Close. Very close.
They are a beast of a team. I think they offered Lanning what Alabama kind of called and kind of soft offered Lanning the job. Like he's the best young coach in the.
I said the same thing. I'm sure Alabama offered him the job, and I'm sure he chose to stay because he wants to be at Oregon. And I
win a title, win a title out there. And if Phil Knight is on this, if
you go to Alabama and you win a title, big deal.
Exactly.
You took Saban's team and you won a title. Good for you.
Right.
You win it at Oregon. First guy who's ever done it, like that'd be amazing. That'd be great.
So I actually wonder, and if we did any research before the show,
like knowing the schedule,
exactly.
Yeah,
like
maybe
we would come up with this. Are we the only team in the country that plays both Oregon and Oregon State?
You mean as opposed to like the other 10 teams that did that every year?
Yeah, exactly. Like there used to be a whole conference built
right.
Yeah,
exactly. A regional conference.
I think we may be the only one.
Are you saying Purdue's an honorary member of the Pac-12?
Yeah, we're brothers. Oregon State, Virginia Tech, Purdue. These are the like-minded peer programs.
Purdue is right along the Wabash. That's just like being in the Pacific Coast.
You can ride the Wabash all the way to Oregon State, I'm pretty sure.
And by the way, Oregon State is not near the Pacific Coast, really. They're 2.5, 3 hours away.
Neither is Colorado. And they were in the Pac-12, so
right.
Or Arizona.
Yeah, names mean nothing.
I like these landlocked states that were in the Pac-12. Not that we need to relitigate the stupidity of that conference, but man,
talk about all the stupidity of all the conferences now. Nobody's
stop with the regional naming. The only one I hate, and we said this last year, the only one that always made sense and kind of still does is the SEC.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's nobody. Texas is the furthest west, or Oklahoma, one of them. Missouri. So it's not quite, but up until now, it's been totally all in the southeastern part of the country.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing I've always laughed about Missouri calling them. I know they are. Part of the South
You're right.
because
Missouri's it. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't
But
think
that-
of them as
but
an
that-
SEC team.
No, I don't. I don't either. And we're how long? 7, 8 years into.
Easy. Yeah.
So there is one other team this year that plays both Purdue and year that plays
The research
both
department
Oregon.
got back to you that
The
fast?
research department came back in. Do you want
Doing
to
their
hazard
thing.
a guess?
Hold on.
That plays both Oregon and Oregon State.
It's got to be a Big Ten team, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm trying to narrow it down. You're not going to give me
SC.
Okay. So USC is Ryan, who's Ryan? Is Boiler Dowd's answer.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
who
a
would
mystery.
no one will.
Who's right?
Who could piece that particular
Exactly.
mystery together?
Jay Buddy, what is your guess? Playing both Oregon and Oregon State in the same season other than Purdue.
Washington.
This season, other than
Washington.
Washington. Excellent guess. Boise State is the answer. The Boise State Broncos.
Of course.
Why not?
Of course. That makes complete sense.
Why would we? John Hawks guessed Idaho. John,
I like
you were
John
close
Hawks.
enough.
Idaho was a great guess. That was
Really
going to
good.
be one of mine.
Regionally,
Mighty
you
Vandals.
are very close.
The Mighty Vandals,
The
would have been
Vandals.
a much closer.
Vandals have a hard schedule every year.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
The Kibby Dome is where I want to go. That's
I'm
one
going
of
to
my
buy you
college
that Kibby
football.
Dome shirt. I'm going to buy you that Kibby Dome shirt.
I want to. I want to go to a game.
Home field have a Kibby Dome.
They
shirt?
have a Kibby Dome shirt. It's awesome.
Awesome.
I gotta go though. I gotta earn that shirt.
It's
Plus,
true.
Anish has this thing about how I don't like wearing other schools' stuff. He thinks I'm weird about this.
No, I'm
And I
with,
think it's-
I'm with Jay on this.
Oh, okay, Mr. FDU shirt wearer.
Well, that they earned it. The underdog, great story. I mean, who doesn't love an underdog? I mean, my gosh, come on.
Shock the world, man.
I think
shock the
my,
world.
my
Shock
Hawaii.
the world.
My,
By the way, I haven't worn that shirt for the record since.
Well,
Purdue
I
Girls
think-
occurred.
I
since,
think
wait,
you-
hold on. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You cut out there. Boiler down. What happened?
I said I haven't.
What?
I was wondering where you got
Oh,
that.
there it is.
I assumed it was a
What? To the
tramp
Final
stamp.
Four.
That's a fair assumption, Jay. But no, my ink that I promised the world and myself years ago. I think Jay still owes himself a trip to the tattoo artist.
I
Yep.
do.
With
I
the
do.
Tyson.
I think so.
You said you were just going to get a motion P, right?
Yeah, if mine will not be. I like that you went all the way with you
Custom
commemorated
design.
what it was. But no, I think you would agree it's fair, right? If I just want to go with the logo.
Yeah. No, you
Oh,
get. I mean, getting
That's
Get
Which logo
marked
that
in
would you
somewhere.
do the motion P? Would you do your favorite train logo?
that's a good idea.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
The 80s train
I love the
logo or
motion P,
90s,
though.
80s, 80s
I love the motion P.
ended in the early 90s, yeah. But
Yeah.
the motion P to me is so timeless.
I mean,
it
it's
isn't
the classic.
It isn't
It's the
timeless
best one.
because it was a block P like right before we went to college, or maybe when we started.
Well,
The
it was-
motion P is the best.
I don't
The
even
motion
know
P
if I-
might not be there forever, right?
To me, the block P is the one that's chiseled out of the stone, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
so
this-
the one
on
that Purdue
campus.
had before, the elongated P that Permian stole from Purdue and used in Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the P that's right before the motion P. And that's the one that was there when Jay and I were on campus.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you gotta get it now.
The
And
train
Greg
is
McManus.
the train's a lot of detail. That's the only trick.
It's a lot of detail, and I can tell you that one of my tattoos, I've got two, has too much detail, and it's bleeding because
Is it? Well, because you did it small.
it's small. I should have gone big. See, that's the thing. Just
But-
get it all across your shoulder, like the whole thing on your back.
Well, here's the
LeBron
difference,
James
though.
chosen one
Today,
across the
Yes,
shoulder blades.
yes.
Yeah.
needles, you can get a lot more detail. Have you seen like there's mini tattoos now? Like, you can get way more than even back when you got that one. They
Right.
can get very precise with much
The
smaller.
problem
needles.
is the medium is not great. Still, the human flesh still
Oh, it's a tough
has
canvas.
It's living,
Yeah.
and so ink moves and does things. So even the best artist, it's still gonna change over time. So I mean, you're still planning on competing in the bodybuilding seniors bodybuilding category. Is that right?
Seniors? Is that what you said?
When you're,
the
I think
senior
they call it the senior division when it's 50 and over. You're not
the
far.
senior
You're not
tour,
far away.
yeah.
Exact senior tour. I'm not saying you're old. I can't say that. You're younger than me by a lot.
right.
I mean,
That's
by a
right.
ton.
That's right.
So, no, I think it's a hard decision. You take your time.
Until the next one, which is going to happen next year, so we'll be.
Yeah, that's
we'll be fine.
my brother asked me this weekend. What do you do when Purdue wins the national championship? I said, that's going on the shoulder. It goes.
Hell
This is
yeah.
outside. It goes outside. So
Hell yeah. Yeah. It's not. What is he implying, that there will be so many that you'll run out of space or something? I don't.
let's cross that bridge when we get there, and let's hope.
Let's find out. Exactly.
What you do is you get a banner tattoo, and then you just add the years.
Oh. Now we're thinking. Now we're using the old new.
Now you could still run out of space in theory, but then you do another banner, I suppose.
Exactly. So we're all on the same page. Purdue Painter is going to win like 4 or 5 natties,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yeah, of course. Yes.
What are you talking about?
But Greg McManus has a good point. It's the Masters division, not the Seniors division.
Thank you. Well, and in golf,
as a fellow Masters division gentleman.
Well, golf, the Pro Tour used to call it the Senior Tour, and they changed it to the Champions Tour. I guess because they don't want to make them feel bad.
Yeah, I guess everything's political.
I don't think any golfer making millions.
No, I don't think they would give a damn, right?
Yeah, they don't care. Senior Tour was kind of cool. But.
By the way, so there are a lot of things that are funny to me right now with phones and computers listening to me. It happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
I slipped a disc in my back about 8 days ago, and I'm still not right. Like it was
K listening devices.
Yes, disc.
A disc.
A disc. Exactly.
Very
and
different.
literally the next day. So one of the things I love to do is I love to buy cameras and shop for cameras and lenses. I don't know why. I don't even take that many pictures, but I want to get the perfect shot. Okay. So I've had a bunch of different cameras, and now I'm looking for the best economic camera where I can just put it in my pocket, something for street photography. Okay. My back was hurting, and I literally was talking to people. That's a good question. It's a good question. My back was hurting. The next day I get on YouTube and it says, if your back is hurting, this is the camera you should buy. And I was like, screw you. Everybody who's listening to me. I hope you got that. I've had so many things this summer. I had one happen. This is not a joke. Some of you have had this happen. This one's crazy. I'm on the phone with a good friend of mine. We're talking about our kids are both 18 years old. Okay. His daughter had turned 18 the night before the phone call. He's telling me on the phone, this is not a joke. On the phone, he's telling me about her birthday. Okay. I get off the phone. I get a message from myself, from my calendar. It says, do you want to add this birthday to your calendar?
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Do not like.
Dude, do not like at all. I was really angry about that.
And yet you were like, yes, I will add it to my calendar. So
but yeah, I do. I do need it. Thanks.
Thank you,
Siri.
artificial
Thank you,
intelligence,
Siri.
always listening to me. So
A-hole.
Before there were constant listening devices. So the earlier day, I have a story about this. So the earlier days of this, this began with things like Google was one of the first of this, right? Whatever you were emailing or searching about, you get little targeted ads in your Gmail, like next to your Gmail and stuff. I don't remember this. I don't think it's as common now, but you get these little so I can't remember if it was somebody I knew, if it was a story I read, but this is a long time ago.
Man-sized women's underwear. Why would I want that?
Well, the story was about a person who had a coworker who was deathly afraid of bees, which is like me as well.
Okay.
And what they did was they went into their Gmail and they set like, you know how you can put like a footer in your emails?
Yeah.
They put a footer that just said bees, 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 but they made it in white text on the white background so you'd never see it. So every email he sent talked about bees. So he just got constant targeted ads for beekeeping and bees and hive things and honey. And I was like, man, that is
so good.
Jokes. That's one of the best practical, because you'll never figure it out.
That's great. That's so good.
Awesome.
Now you're going to do something like that, don't you?
Yeah. That is so
I like
good.
to say stuff to people's Alexas when I'm in their house.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. I like to add stuff to their shopping carts.
Yes, that's the best. That is the best.
And I don't buy it. I just add it, like add 47 whatever. And then the next time they go on Amazon, I'm like, what the hell is this? Or if they just process it, then surprise.
Right.
Yeah, get
It depends. Depends better be one of the things you always add. Because that's for me. That's a staple. When I see an Alexa, I'm going in for the depends ad.
You had depends like
every
the
time.
Diapers?
Yes, the adult diapers. Yeah.
Ah, man.
Let's talk about football.
Speaking of soiling yourself,
I don't think it's going to happen a lot this year.
I don't know. We'll see. We will discuss soon on the Handsome Hour. That's a tease if we had ads. Okay, continue.
Oh, part of the Believe Network.
That's right. Sure. I don't know. Who knows?
Sure.
Who cares?
Sure.
Sure, who cares? Who knows? Let them direct deposit us first. What? Should I say that?
One thing would be great.
Yeah.
For all of you who are looking to get rich from podcasting, let me tell you, if you follow the Jay, Anish, and Boiler Dowd model, it's not going to happen. I'm going the other way, Anish. It doesn't happen. There is no money's coming.
What about the people that have been with us for a while, the loyal BS sponsors? How could we thank them?
Well, here, listen, and this is not a joke, okay? I get texts often from Adam at AJ's. He'll just out of the blue ask me. Recently, he said, "Hey, do you guys want magnets again? Do we want magnets at your store? Yes, we want that because Boiled Sports watchers, listeners, they love to go to AJ's, grab a free magnet from the bottom of their pint. Okay, so I changed it this year just to give you guys a preview. I'm not showing it to you. This year, it's going to say no. It's very similar to last year, but I'm told, but by good intel, Adam, that people were like, where can I find them? So I put Boiled Sports on the top and on the bottom, find us at Twitter and YouTube, and at Boiled Sports. Just very simple tweaking, okay? But here's the deal. You might get lucky and get a Boiled Sports. But even if you don't, you are going to get the best damn service in West Lafayette. And that's a fact.
Unlike
head to the fire station. Turn left.
Turn left? What if I'm coming from the other direction?
No,
it's gonna be a long. It's gonna take a long time. You have to go all the way around the world.
Yeah, you took the longest possible path, but it's fine. You'll get
Follow your nose, damn it. Go to the fire station and you'll smell the delicious.
Follow your nose.
The pretzel app. You can't lose.
On Vine Street. So if you're using a map, like most people who don't navigate by fire stations, you would
do it all by feel. Everything's by feel.
However, what should I wear? What should I wear to it? The sponsor that we've already.
Oh, you should wear something that none of us are wearing. A Home Field Apparel T-shirt.
You don't know.
We decided to kick the season off with completely no Home Field Apparel, even though we all own plenty of it because we love this stuff.
But we've already plugged two non-Purdue schools that have excellent home field thing.
True.
What's our code this year? Boiled 25.
Boiled 25.
Let's go. Boiled 25.
I like how they're thinking ahead. This will work now through next basketball year. It'll still make sense.
I did that. I did it. It was me. I did it.
I did it.
It was my choice because I was like, dude, we're gonna make another big run through April. That's what we do.
I guess I should be happy you know what year it is. That's a good.
It's good. That is good.
It's the fiscal year, the 2025 fiscal year.
Right. We've already started it
very soon at Boiled. Okay, that was the longest ad copy we've ever had. I think
that was about 2 minutes. There was nothing wrong with that.
Felt like forever. I feel like a whore.
So let me hit you with some research, some actual research that has
I gave you time. This is awesome.
On BoiledSports.com in advance of the show. Good Lord.
Whoa.
It is obviously on a spreadsheet.
Show prep.
I know. It's obviously on a spreadsheet. So last year, Purdue's advanced rankings. It happens. It's the first year. It's a new system. Purdue's offense was at the ranked 91st.
Awesome.
Under Graham Harrell. Purdue's defense under Ryan Walters.
Worse.
It was 7.
He's the head coach. He's not the defensive coach.
How is that possible? Really?
The defense in advanced stats was better, significally better than the offense.
And the end of the season helped. Those last 3 games.
The end of the season very, very much helped. Usually in Walter's tenure as defensive coordinator since the last few years at Mizzou and then his 2 years at Illinois, usually it's the first 2 games of his first season, I think first 2 or 3 games of his first season, and then boom, the team gets it. But he is only focusing on the defense. This year at Purdue, he is focusing on the whole team. I think it took him until 2 games in before he actually started calling the defense again.
Yeah.
And so he's like getting used to it, being the head coach and the main defensive guy. We know that there's defense coordinator. He's the main defensive coordinator. Yeah. In the second half of the season, it was dramatically better. The advanced stats were dramatically better. The yards allowed were dramatically better. The third down efficiencies allowed were dramatically better. So that's great. The question is whether Purdue takes the patented year 2 Ryan Walters jump. So in his first year at Missouri, and actually it took him 3 years under Barry Odom. He spent 2 years at 85th and 61st, and then immediately jumped for his third and fourth years into the top 25, 25th and 17.
It's Illinois. They were like second or first.
Illinois, he took over, and immediately they went from 88th the year before to 32nd and then third. So, yeah, it seems like Ryan Walters is a good defensive coordinator. He's a very smart coach.
Always amazes me. You guys get incredible, like that a guy can just be like, nope, do it my way, and you're suddenly better. Like it's, and I know he's bringing in guys that he thinks fit his system, but he did it in year one.
Right.
He made a difference during year one.
And he did it. Let's be honest. They were cobbling it together last year. That's the thing. It's crazy is how well they're playing with those final 3 games. That was a skeleton crew on defense. Pretty impressive.
So rather than where Purdue football conversations and season previews usually start, which is under center and the offense and everything like that, which we will get to, let's start with the defense, because this defense seems to be pretty exciting. It's headlined by, I think, an All-American. Like, I don't know if he's been named a preseason All-American.
Second team.
Is he second team?
Yeah.
Thieneman is going to be talked about among the best defensive players in the country. He's the perfect avatar for a Ryan Walters system. Usually the captain, still the captain's going to be the middle linebacker. We don't know who. Do we know who's wearing
What do you think about the mustache, by the way?
Oh, I love it. You know me. You know.
He looks almost like a pirate.
Yeah.
It's an unusual unkempt mustache.
It is. It's like a March Madness mustache. Like
yes, like it's growing and you're not allowed to touch anything to it. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I think a bunch of NBA players did it when they were in the bubble. Jimmy Butler had one, which was
oh my gosh,
like I don't know.
He's a genius, by the way. The more you
amazing.
He's a dude.
But so I don't know who's actually wearing. So this is the first year that. They're allowed to wear the earpieces. The players are allowed to
Jenkins is wearing it on defense.
So do we have it? Is it confirmed that Jenkins is wearing it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Actually, that's really cool. So he's going to definitely be a captain. Do we have confirmation that Thieneman's going to be a captain too? Because he's
so here's what we've got, and this was just confirmed in the last 5 days, was that Purdue will not have full season captains.
Oh yes, that's right.
Weekly.
That's right. And that's what they did last year too, which is fine. It happens. And also that allows for injuries and kind of people to emerge and take that. So I like that. I'm looking at this defense. I'm looking at the secondary. Like, I really like this squad. Obviously love the safeties. I love the size of the cornerbacks and the new additions that have come in. Jenkins is a beast. Held is probably going to be really good. I hope.
I think he's going to be really good. Yeah.
But really I don't know. What do you think? What are you thinking, Doubt about the defense? Like I'm pretty excited about it.
I don't know if you saw this.
I'm most excited about
Purdue football. The creatives, they put out kind of a poster saying we're almost there right today. And I don't know if you saw it. Jenkins has a huge diamond. I think it said J4 or did it say K4?
Yep.
Okay. Pretty awesome, but some swag there, okay, in that team. Interesting thing, I heard Nate Baird talking about this today on his podcast. He was talking about shout out to your old buddy Nate Baird, who is back from an evil land called Columbus. But the thing that's really cool is Jenkins used to talk about he loved the fact that he didn't have to think about playing defense, and now all of a sudden he's the guy that's getting the signal and putting everybody in position. That's a real big difference. I would argue, though, based on what I understand about Thieneman, is that's going to be a 2-man job. Is that Thieneman, because he's so far ahead of everything, because the way he thinks the game, he's going to be directing traffic.
They're both. The two smartest players on the field. I would say on either side of the ball for Purdue football. I love
Gus Hartwig is pretty heady.
You're right. You're right. So he's the three of them. I would absolutely agree with Hartwig. You're right. I wonder if it will stay Jenkins. I wonder if they do want to kind of unburden him, like he's going to be getting double teamed the whole season. Yeah. Again, unless Held comes up, and so
there's got to be a guy on the other side, and maybe it's Sheeta. Silla.
Silla. Yeah, okay.
That's my dark horse for being just an absolute terror.
It'll be fun.
So supposedly, according to Golden Black and another direct source who's watched practice, he's finally starting to get comfortable in the defense. Silla.
Imagine Silla. By the way, I looked at he's listed Imagine this guy rushing you.
Huge.
He's 6'4", 251.
No.
Massive.
Yeah.
Blocking out the sun and moving quickly at you.
Good thing every team wears brown pants against Purdue. The pass rush is coming, so you better be ready.
I am really excited about this defense, actually.
This is like playing a video game to me. Just blitz every play. Just blitz, blitz, blitz. Just go crazy.
And trust
That's pretty much what they do, and it's just coming from a different area on the field. And then the next question is, can your corners
secondary? Yep.
Can they play man to man? And this year they can. You guys have, if you guys have been listening to my weekly talk for the summer, it's just me talking about how much I believe in the cornerbacks and the
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you should try it.
You have a show?
Yeah. And it's difficult to do that all summer. I can tell you that's very hard. But I committed to it, and we're done with it now. So
Thankfully,
that's
you're getting paid.
Thank you. Thankfully, there's a big, huge Boiled Sports mansion thanks to that awesome agreement. But it was worth the experiment. It was totally worth it. And I learned a little bit digging in deeper, trying to find something, but not much.
Can I mention something? I was looking at the depth chart, and I'm also excited. Here's something I'm less excited about. Did you guys happen to look at the depth chart and see who the number one punt returner is?
Thieneman, right?
Thieneman.
I don't look at special teams because Purdue hasn't dealt with special teams in several decades.
But I can tell you, my friend Anish, let me tell you about something about special teams. There is reason for hope there, too. There is reason for hope. Is it Coach Petroselli?
Yeah.
The dude is absolutely nuts, which is what you want on your special teams.
That's a special teams coach.
Yes.
So you go from no special teams coach last year. That's to this year you've got a certified lunatic. That's what you want. Okay.
Absolutely.
And he's doing things like firing tennis ball guns at guys returning punts, hitting them with pads in the head. I love it. I love all of it. It's craziness. And it's, by the way, they are getting focused on. We still don't know who the place kicker is.
The kicker has me worried, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like
that's the other thing on the special teams. Here's something you don't want to see. It says special teams, Ben Freehill or Spencer Porvath. What? There's an or on the it doesn't say 1 and 2. It says
rock, paper, scissors, best of three.
We're gonna flip a coin.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
It's fine.
So does you guys take it for the same thing that I do? That's reason to be concerned, or that man, they're both kicking so damn well that
they're so good. I can't choose a number one.
I can't choose. They're so delicious.
I heard you.
It's like, do you want tiramisu or a chocolate torte?
I heard you try to spin that on the quick.
Yeah,
pretzel bites or
the mac and cheese bites.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
This is a good question.
You got to order both. I mean, like
you do get both, and that's what they're doing on the special teams.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Because they don't know which one. It may be a McDonald's menu. You're just looking at it, a Taco Bell menu, and you're just like, Gosh,
it's already 2:30. I haven't eaten lunch. Oh, shoot. I got to eat something or I'm going to pass out.
Exactly.
I hope it's not that.
I hope so too. Last year wasn't fun.
I just don't like Thieneman. I was bringing that up because I
understand this.
I don't need him getting hurt on a punt return.
Correct. No. Especially just fair catch it every time. Screw it. I don't care.
Send someone else back there. Some guy anyone who can catch the ball. How about that?
Speedy receivers.
Don't turn it over. That's all.
Yeah.
I love the receiving core, and I would like to see one of them take that off.
I would much rather see one of them than the best player on the team. Yes.
Oh, the guys whose job it is to catch the ball? Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I'm not concerned about him catching the ball.
No, I'm not
concerned
either.
about him getting decked.
Agree. I'm saying you've got guys on the roster who literally were recruited to catch the football. So
listen, let's pretend. By the way, Anish, you're going to appreciate this. LBD sent me something today about how athletics and athletes are changing, and the question was, have we reached the human limits of athletes and stuff? And it pretty much says no. It just says equipment has advanced so far, and it talked about basketball. You've probably seen this. It's awesome. But the one thing that I would look back is if we look back to the 90s, this wouldn't be unusual at all, right? The best player on your team returning punts, you'd be like, yeah, let's go win a Heisman.
Oh, yeah,
let's put his head out there, and he's going to get rocked because somebody's going to headhunt him and be like, yep, rub some dirt on it. It's fine.
No, he's
got his bell rung.
Idea. Yeah, exactly.
He got his bell rung. It's fine. Who hasn't had that fun time if they played football, had their bell rung? Get back out there,
a lot of sports, man. A lot of sports you get. They didn't even look for concussions in other sports. No. Now they're at least like, oh, he hit his head really hard with no helmet on.
That's right.
Who knew? Who knew that your brain exists in sports other than football?
I had my head on the field playing soccer in high school, and I'm sure I was concussed.
I actually think that either it maybe the rate of them or something I was reading that in soccer, like in women's soccer, it is higher than.
Well, in the town that I live in Central Indiana, I can tell you because I've seen the stats that the most concussed sport is girls soccer.
Yeah,
it's way above football.
So it's great. It's fine.
Awesome.
It's fine. I am scared. I'm scared of everything that has to do with special teams. I don't like any of it. It's not.
Don't be afraid. Embrace the change.
And it's not the problem is that it's not changed. It was bad last year. The problem is that last year the kicking
it's going to be great.
The kicking started to influence the play calling. So it started making everything a little bit more kind of conservative because it is like there is no option. There
were so many things though that made it conservative, and I am hoping that all of my bad mouthing of Graham Harrell's play calling is within a week or two. I'm just like, all gone, all just a memory. Because
I had a few list of prep questions in the YouTube comments. One of them is, will Graham Harrell?
I'm not the right guy to ask this question, am I? Because I still have a bad taste in my mouth. So, Jay,
again, I think it got better. Down the stretch. Again, the Northwestern game. Let's blot that from our memory. But the IU game, it was nice. It was fun. It was nice to see Huddy get aggressive if we're moving to offense. It was nice to see points on the board. It was nice to see the players step up when it was needed. Again, not in the middle quarters, but it was good. It was still good.
There was progress last year. It got better. We all talked about the fact that it got better, and I think you talked about this in one of your quick casts. Hudson Card, they tried to kind of keep him protected, it seemed, and then weirdly, kind of after he got banged up, they were like, "All right, run free," and the offense looked better, and so I would say, and last year was last year, so it's a little bit faded from memory, but I think things got better generally, and that makes sense. You get more comfortable. Everybody gets comfortable in the system. So I think it's fair to have some optimism about a Graham Harrell.
Jay, can I ask you what your least favorite moment of the season was last year? This is funny. This was just unearthed for me in the last 2 weeks.
My least favorite moment of the season. You'll probably have something that I will agree with more, but what comes immediately to mind was them losing to Northwestern.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one because they should have won that game.
Yes.
I would say being down 14-0 versus Nebraska. I think they were down 14-0. That one was such a splash of cold water on the face because I think everybody felt like you could beat that team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and that one was so hard because you're like, oh, man, this season is not going to go the way we want it to. And that was the biggest benchmark of
the one that stuck with me all year, and you talk about Oregon State being key early, was the Fresno State loss.
Yeah.
Well, and so
let that thing slip away. You got a fourth quarter lead.
It was exciting. They did come back from being behind in the fourth, so there was a lot to be like, okay, this team can throw. That was his first game. It was Card's first game. It was Walter's first game. It was at home. Yeah. Great vibes, and they didn't win.
His veteran coach against guys coaching in his first game. I mean,
But that's how close that last season was. That's how close. Well, those two teams we just talked about. The three teams, two of those, and you're a bowl team.
Yeah.
Here's the flip side of that.
And all those teams are bowl teams too. That's
the flip side of that is without the major rainstorm, it is very possible that Virginia Tech, would have beat Purdue. I think that would have been a closer game than it ended up.
I think it got close after.
I think they were a little bit of a mess, Virginia Tech, right?
I think they were absolutely.
That quarterback situation was.
Caught them at the right time.
No kidding, because their quarterback was so much.
That kid never played again.
Right.
And what is it, Pry? From the old defensive coordinator at Penn State. He's a good coach.
There were people talking about them as a sleeper ACC champ.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, and so to me, I think Purdue absolutely could have lost that game if it was under normal circumstances. And then the IU game was a coin flip, was a
That's
razor's edge
That's
game.
true. Here I am talking about how close they were to 2 more
It
wins.
could have
And they
been
were close
two.
to 2 or 3 more losses. So,
It
Jay,
could have been a
when
2-win season. I mean, like again, like everything was so
gosh,
close.
how would you feel right now? I mean, 2-10, you wouldn't be able to talk yourself into being.
But what happened is we hit the median. Like we hit the like probably the most.
You got 2 of them
frequent-
and you didn't get 2 of them. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You get
of the
you-
toss-ups.
And so as we're going through this season, and as people are calling for 8 wins in,
God, I love it. There's somebody who gets into all the comments on any one of those YouTube videos, and they're like, 8 wins.
First of all, you look at this; it's rated as one of the 10 toughest schedules in the country
by everybody.
by
There's not
everyone.
an exception.
And so it's tough. And also, like among that is like Oregon doesn't have to play Oregon, so like they're not going to have as hard of a schedule. You know what I mean? Like they go down, but still Purdue has to play Oregon, Ohio State, all of these teams. Anyway, I think that so as we're going through these, thinking about the fact that hey, there were 4 coin flip games last year, and 2 of them went our way, 2 of them didn't. Like I think, and that using that to calculate, well, the most likely, because humans are bad at odds. This is why Las Vegas exists, and so it's like that is probably where like the prediction, like the range of wins prediction should come from. So we can go into it. Well, wait, but we still have the offense to still kind of do. Sorry,
We did it. We did it.
like-
We don't have a rule. No, Manish has an agenda, clearly.
Well, I mean, to me, what I do want to mention, because I know we mentioned the wide receivers, I think the best unit on the offense by far is the line. I haven't said that about a Purdue team in 20 years. I feel great about this line. It's already the depth of it is already being tested this week with probably a few dinged up injuries. But like you bring
has been an issue forever.
Yeah, and Devin Maccabee's uncle was on here earlier. I don't know if you saw that. He kind of checked in, and nobody's happier about that than
I bet
Maccabee in Love. Nobody.
And I wonder if they are going to do a tandem running back. But last year,
they are.
He
They're also on
he
the
really
depth chart
it's Maccabee's starting role, but it's 1A 1B, so they're going to split carries, which is very very good.
Not that different from last year with Tracy.
Yeah.
Right.
That worked so well. Like you went with the hot
The
hand.
proof's in the numbers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And again, nobody has a problem with Maccabee being one. But if there is a receiving, I don't know how like what Love's style is. But if he's a receiving back, like that'll be nice. Like
he's a little more.
He's a running back. He really doesn't. He doesn't catch a ton out of the
think-
backfield.
So I like making sure that option exists. But there are, I know the Georgia guys again. Speaking of dinged up, I know that C.J. Smith I think is also dinged up. But there are much more reliable pass catchers this year, and so you're with the line though. Like I don't know. That has me comfortable, and that has me feeling pretty decent about.
Okay,
this.
let me
Again,
ask you guys something, because you've been driving the bus, and I appreciate it, Nish, but I want to ask you a question.
Go on.
Who's your surprise player on the offensive side of the ball? Who's the guy that not everybody in the media is talking about, not even in Purdue family, that you just have a gut feeling you think this might be the guy?
I mean, to me, I actually can't believe it. I don't know. Maybe people are talking about it. I think Max Clare is going to have a huge.
I like Max Clare. The tight ends, Bieber.
Well, if you go past Max Clare and you say the tight ends are going to be good, that's a bold prediction, because I mean, Bieber is a guy that he played well in the bowl 2 years ago. He played it well again versus IU. But really his overall production hasn't been much because he hadn't played that much. Right? And so you've got two guys that are they're very green, but when given the opportunity, both have just capitalized.
I think Claire is not going to have a problem. The times that we saw him, his physicality, the times that he was healthy and we saw him, his physicality.
He looks great too. I mean, like he looks like he looks like a Big Ten tight end. And this is one thing, and this is a recurring theme, by the way. Purdue's strength and conditioning has done an excellent job.
What's the dude's name from Michigan? He was kind of Michigan's assistant. Their strength and conditioning coach. I think his name is like Small or something like that, or Tiny.
It is.
It's
small.
Tremendous. It's so good. Yep. He looks like. Speaking of the two craziest people on the staff,
Tiny.
should be the special teams coach and the strength and conditioning.
The strength coaches are always the ones that are out there when it's like Sub-Zero in a t-shirt and then headbutting guys without a helmet on. Like those are the
bloody in their damn forehead.
Right.
It's tremendous.
By the way, can I give you since you're talking about the offense, Anish, let me just chime in with a typical Bullet Sports level analysis here. This is an old man comment. Whatever happened to wide receivers wearing numbers in the 80s? Why is that so out of vogue? They're all wearing 16, 12, 13, 8, 26, 7, and 0.
Yeah.
Come on, this isn't basketball. What are we doing here?
It's like the All-Star.
You can do
game.
whatever you want in college
The
football.
running backs still mainly wear running back numbers. Quarterbacks wear quarterback numbers. Linemen wear lineman
Mock's
numbers.
wearing 45, which is
Yeah,
an
Mock
unusual
says.
number for a non-fullback.
But it's still a.
Maybe you should bring back the Mike Allstott. I saw a player at Georgia Tech with one of the Mike Allstott.
Yes,
no,
that was
someone last
awesome.
year. It was amazing.
No,
The
it
Mike
was
Allstott back, the
this
back.
week.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was so good.
So Coach Roe Small, Ted
Tyra Small.
Berkey,
Thank
Tyra
you.
Small,
Thank
but
you.
everybody's calling him Coach Roe, Coach Small. He's a fire hydrant of a dude.
Just
He is
incredible.
constantly wound up, and he has absolutely earned his money this offseason. The strength coach is obviously extremely important in modern college football, but he has earned his dough. Look at those pictures and the videos out of camp, and just tell me the guys that don't look like they're in the right place.
Held looks crazy good. I mean, like,
He looks great.
Huge.
He looks great. He looks like you.
Well, I wish. I really do wish. Maybe I can get Coach Rowe to
Yeah.
some side money to Jack just to get me pumped. Let's go.
I have a game for you guys. I always come prepared to entertain you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned, Anish, you mentioned humans versus the odds.
Yes.
This is a good segue from that. I want to play a quick game. I'm going to give you guys some teams and their over-under win totals set by Vegas, and you're going to tell me over or under.
I have not looked at them this year, so
this is fun, right?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. I got about a 10 or 12. We'll
go.
rattle through these. Okay. Oregon, 10.5. Oh, such a good line.
I mean,
it's so perfect.
I'd go up. Are we regular season?
Regular
season.
Postseason. Win your 12 games.
Regular season.
This is out of 12.
I could see. So that would mean 11-1 or 12-0.
They're going to lose. They could lose to Ohio State and they could lose to Purdue. What? No, that's what.
If they lose, I think they're
Set
back
up.
to back. So let me tell you,
Set up.
they're not going to lose.
They're not going to lose back to back. I think I would agree with
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
I said, Jack and I were talking about that, about the Oregon Purdue game. And I said, no, you want them to beat Ohio State.
Yep.
You want them to be riding high. And
That's one of the
Be on everybody's phone with all the highlights and all the interviews.
This is the
Enjoy
argument.
the week.
Again, I don't believe it. I want to say I am against this, but this is the argument for the Super League, right? Because it's like then every week you get Oregon, Ohio State.
But you don't anymore, Anish, because they're not all going to be 10-0.
No, that's
but
the
you
thing.
get brands. You get the brands like
Yeah,
that.
brands-
You can do
The
it.
brands,
Well,
suck the brands. I mean, like that's
basketball
not
is a brand in their minds.
right. Nebraska's a brand.
You don't
Nebraska's a brand. Notre Dame's a brand. Come on, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Oregon, Ohio State is going to be one of the best regular season
Okay,
games.
let's move
That's
on
an
to Ohio
awesome
State.
game.
Let's go. Ohio State.
Ohio State is also 10.5.
10.5. I would take Oregon over Ohio State under. Yeah.
So Ohio State under?
Yeah.
10-2 or less?
10-2 exactly.
Okay.
10-2, 11-1. Yep.
I say
No.
12-0, 11-1.
So you're going over both.
So you
Over
go
on
over.
both.
Yeah, because they meet in the championship game, or for you, or like the Final Four for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, and that doesn't affect this. So,
Yep.
okay, Notre Dame, 10.
Under.
Under. I love them again.
Wow,
my
our
hatred
bias
for
is showing through pretty.
I don't. My,
9
my,
wins is a disappointment this year for them.
my hatred for Notre Dame has faded again
Yeah,
with all
a
of
little
our
bit.
favorite coaches
How many
at
likable
Notre Dame.
people
It's
there?
disgusting.
It won't take much to stoke it. I'm telling you, it's seeing
it
that
won't be
damn
the
leprechaun
coach.
on TV.
It won't
Yeah,
be.
it'll be the
it won't
fan.
be the coaches. Any of the top three of their coaches, like we love them. They're Purdue people. It's disgusting.
All right, next one. Texas, Coach Sark, 10.5 in the SEC.
Wow. Again,
That's the hardest one for me yet.
because Texas is
No,
going to be
That's
good,
easy.
but I think that 10-2, 9-3 is much
You
more
got to go
likely.
under on that.
Yeah.
There's no way they're winning 11 in their first year in the SEC.
I kind of feel some Texas mojo.
Ooh, you going over?
I think I go over.
Wow, I'm writing these down.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I think Bama's going to struggle this year.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
And so then you've got Georgia, and you have to have one other dance
LSU.
partner.
To me, unfortunately, LSU is
What's
like,
LSU proved to us really in the last couple of years?
Fair, good question.
Right?
Ole Miss is the other one. I mean, like
That's
again,
the sleeper. That's the SEC sleeper to me. I mean, like I put them in my my imaginary championship tournament. I mean, I think Ole Miss could be very, very good.
that
very good.
offense is going to be really good. I think they
Yeah.
finally got.
And the Powder Blues, man. I mean, that's where
I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Purdue can't be in Powder Blues, right? That would be ridiculous.
The next one I have on my list, Michigan The over-under is set for 9.
Whoa.
That's tough. That's hard because I think they're going to be. Yeah, I think
Under.
You
I think Michigan.
under?
I think Michigan could come derailed and get 7 or 8 this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you.
Okay, you've talked me into it under, but I don't feel great about it.
It's not a half, so you can go
exactly.
right on it.
So you could
You could say push.
Yeah.
That means you're picking an exact number.
8 sounds. I would have a hard time seeing them under 8, but like I think
9.
8 is more likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one everybody loves. Iowa. You know what they're set for this year? This is so annoying because it's perfect. Is 8.
Give me the
Over.
Yeah,
Over.
give me the over.
Wow.
It's all I would. It annoys me. I hate them.
Bastards. They'll win 10 games.
It is well, and maybe with an actual college football coach as their offensive coordinator, maybe they'll actually take a step.
Well,
forward.
maybe if Ferentz gets suspended for the entire year, who knows, right?
Yeah,
There's still a chance.
Watch them put up a ton of points in them for
Be perfectly Iowa. Just to piss off a niche. They've got this dynamic offense all of a sudden.
I'd go
Ferentz
over
is suspended for the season.
All right, you're both over. I get you.
Yeah.
Greg
What are
Manis
you?
says
What are
over
you?
too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Got a brain trust with Greg.
Texas A&M, 8.5.
Oh,
So hard. Vegas knows.
I mean, they bought a lot of talent this offseason,
They did.
including
say they're
one of
gonna
our own.
Yes.
But-
I'm going to say 8 wins. I'll say under.
Ooh.
I miss him so much, man.
Oh, I know.
Look,
You won't for long.
I know.
Your
but
pal from
imagine
Carmel.
Sporting
Your Big Will from Carmel is gonna.
I know. You said the over.
He said
What
under.
about-
I said under.
I was actually no. What did I say for Texas? I ended up Texas under.
You said
You
under.
went under, and I said over for Texas. And under.
Yeah, so I'll flip I'll flip
You're
it.
gonna
So
go
I will
over
go
on
I will
A&M?
go over for A&M, and I'll
8.5.
say
You're only saying 9. 9's not crazy. That can
Exactly.
happen.
No, that's-
with all the
exactly.
talent and that's a rebound and it's still a letdown. to
but
those
the bottom
people.
that means that for me the bottom of the SEC has to be real bad because I'm picking a pretty
it's-
heavy top, you know.
I
what
think it's
mean? But-
possible for that
yeah.
to happen. Louisville,
Uh-oh.
Over.
8.5.
Over.
Yeah, I agree.
Disgusting. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yep.
Yeah. 8.5 seems like such an easy mark for them this year. Okay, here's one that I may have to.
They're going to win 11 games, Jay.
They did last
for you.
year.
They won 10 last year, and then they
10?
pushed the bowl, right?
10 plus the bowl, yeah.
Nebraska, 7.5.
Here's your over, Dad.
Over. Give them 8 wins.
I will also say over because I think
I hate you both.
yeah,
I'm saying under. 100 for sure. In fact, I may or may not have already put money on that.
At the end, you know what that N stands for? Toughness.
Nope. Yes, I remember.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. That's
Colorado and Dion.
Under.
5.5.
under. Sell.
I agree.
They're in deep trouble. They're in trouble. It's just going to get worse. I
5.5
can't
is a low
believe.
number.
I know. I
Rangers
can't
have been
believe
in 4 or 5
Affleck is still on that. I think
Yeah, they sell insurance. Of course they are.
you
That's
read
the
about
whole
that
point.
craziness that's happening in the locker rooms with recruits. Man, that it's a madhouse there. I don't know if you saw what Breedlove said. They said if you could, he goes like, I don't want to talk a lot about what happened at Colorado, by the way, and then they said, so give us one difference. He said less cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like having to deal with that circus week in, week out. There are very few human beings that can do that. And they wilted under that pressure last year. Now his sons might be used to it because they grew up in it, but those other kids aren't.
And
So
especially at a program like Colorado, again, if you
Right.
took A&M, if you took the U,
Right.
like if you're
Right.
at these kind of
Right.
programs that are used to it, absolutely. But at Colorado, man, give me that under.
Wow. I thought you might have been more conflicted there, but I agree. I'm under on that too. Okay, I got 2 more on my list, and I can look up anything else.
Those are good.
IU, 5.5.
Under.
Coach Sig taking a big drag.
I agree. Under.
4.5 or 5.5?
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah, under.
No bowl, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And the last one on my list, and I can certainly look up more if you're interested, but Purdue, 4.5. So hard. So hard.
Over.
Well, let's
Just
go
a
through
half
it.
over.
So
Just a half
let's-
over. I did it already. I've done it like 15 times.
Let's go through
I
it.
feel good
Yeah,
about my
let's do it.
5 wins.
We might as well play the schedule game now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So you've
Perfect.
got
Perfect thing to close out with.
Absolutely.
Indiana State, You've got to. We can't have
Well,
Daryl
man,
Hazel.
I sure hope we're not.
By the way, Jay, this is funny because you mentioned the Purdue fans in comments section saying 8 wins, 8 wins, 8 wins. Boiled sports fans are not those fans.
No.
Under.
We have
Did
curated.
they all jump in and say that about Purdue?
Yeah. Oh, there's an over. There's a big over.
So-
It says 6-6. The noodle says over.
Hold
Oh,
on.
fast.
So
Okay,
we
so
got-
maybe
so-
they were talking about IU.
So here's what
I
we're
guess
going to do.
they're the 8 wins people. Our people are the 8 wins people.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to chalk up wins as 1. If you're on the fence, actually put a half game on there. You can put your bid on there, but this is
Okay.
how you do this.
This
and
is
then
different.
if it's a loss, do a
All right.
0.
Are you tracking
Okay.
it? Are you writing?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm not on point because if we don't have a note taker, then how this meeting goes off the rails.
I can't do it in my head. That's for darn sure.
That's exactly. All right. Indiana State.
Indiana
Win.
State.
Win.
You would have to
Useless
say so,
win.
correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Useless. No, not useless. Every win matters.
All right.
The bye week is number 2. So you would hope
Train is
that-
rolling, undefeated
time
after
for a bye
2
week.
weeks.
Get all fixed up after a week of a game against Indiana State.
Oh, you heard what the coach says.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't he thankful for it this year?
He says he's thanks Jesus for it. Thanks God for it.
That's always good to hear.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
preseason, it's fine.
We got a little nicked up. Got a couple skill guys getting nicked up. That's
In the comments, Jason Ringer says, stands on desk. I am an 8-win Purdue person. Jason, I love you. You're insane. And
you
if
are
it happens,
insane, and we love that you're here.
I will send you all the Boiled Sports swag I still have in my basement if Purdue wins.
Oh my gosh, that's a haul. Jay's sitting on some gear. I can tell you that much. So.
All right. Notre Dame, September 14th.
So home versus Notre Dame. What are we thinking?
I mean,
I am thinking no.
No, I've got no on that too.
I think it's a no.
Wish I didn't.
But I think it could be so fun in there, at least for a half. I think
This-
Purdue.
You want a half? You want a half for that one?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying game.
Okay.
I'm picking
In
loss.
theory, it would be fun.
No,
Okay,
I'm
I
picking
just-
loss, but I think, gosh, wouldn't you just love to put a scare into them at minimum? Just have it make rushing
yeah.
fun for the day. Like,
Absolutely.
oh man, come on.
It will be
You
fun.
know.
It will be fun, regardless.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And they go to
3:30 kickoff, right? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Then they go all the way across the country to Oregon State. To
Correct.
Corvallis.
Dubs.
Game.
Corvallis is where they are, correct?
That's my
Win.
pivot.
Corvallis,
Win.
yeah.
So we're going 3 wins here. I'm gonna put.
You're going win too.
I'm gonna go a half. I'm putting a half.
I think that's fair. I think that's good to have a swing justice here who thinks keeps us in check. However, Oregon State is falling apart more than I think even people realize.
Yeah.
They lost a lot,
Yeah.
and talent, coach, like nobody.
Guys fled. So.
And I don't blame them. People flee from good, decent programs on the rise.
As we know.
As we know. So I think you got to win that game. To your point, that is a pivotal
for a
game
successful
for the season
game.
being
It's
good.
not a bad thesis.
If you lose that one,
gotta
you
win.
got to pick up one somewhere else that you
Exactly.
did not think you were going to get. So,
But I have that IU game was a great game to end the season on, but I want to see some consistency, and so I am not there yet. Nebraska at home, homecoming
Half.
in Ross-Ade Stadium. Nobody
Half.
comes into Ross-Ade. I agree with you. I'm
Half.
putting it down for half.
I'll go half, so we're all in sync.
Wow.
Well, I thought you were going to
just
me pick. You make me pick. I pick a win, but he said I can go half, so I'm going half.
Wisconsin at Camp Randall.
hell.
Win
Sharpie.
1-3.
Chisel that into stone.
Sharpie loss. The only Sharpie loss.
Prove me wrong. Prove me
Sharpie
wrong,
football
Walt.
program left, right? There's not
Yeah.
another program that you Sharpie Purdue to a loss anymore.
Yep.
None.
It's bad. It's bad. It happens.
It's worse than Michigan for me.
It's worse than Ohio State.
Yeah,
Absolutely worse
Purdue
than
beats
Ohio State.
Purdue beats Ohio State on the regular.
yeah,
I got an 18-year-old son that's never seen Purdue beat Wisconsin.
He will this year, though. Tell him to make the trip.
That's right. Make it happen. That's right.
Head
Head to Madtown.
I've already put our answers for at Illinois down. Shall I put us
What are
down
they
for
gonna
3
be?
ones, Garcon?
Wee wee. Oh.
Meanwhile,
Delicious.
the next week I've also put us down because Oregon, this is where we talk about Oregon and Ross-Ade.
So my son keeps
Oh, shoot.
keeps saying to me,
I know.
everywhere I look, he's like, people are saying Oregon has to be careful of Purdue and
It's
Ross
magical.
Knight on a Friday. I
It's
said,
good
right.
to be known for
It
that.
is. It is. I said, but
it's not going to
everybody
happen now.
knows, which means for sure Dan Lanning knows. For sure.
Can I do a quick aside too? And I keep reminding friends of mine that aren't Purdue fans, that was not Coach Walters. The old Purdue winning at night versus top 3 ranked teams, that was not Coach Walters. We need to see Coach Walt build that reputation. This is a different program. I don't mean to. I know Purdue. There's magic in Ross Aid. I understand that, but I want to see Coach Walters prove it to me.
May not have been able to beat Rutgers, but he could beat you if
Damn
you were
it,
top
man!
3
He
team.
was
You were
a beast.
Top 3 team. He was a beast.
Yeah, he was a beast. He built that chip on those guys' shoulders. He had all of them ready to just kill somebody. So
Against
Walters.
something.
Yeah, unless there was wind or rain, and then
His nemesis.
exactly, absolutely.
So 3 zeros, 3 donuts for Oregon.
Yeah, it's rough.
Northwestern, a
Donut.
revenge game in Ross Aid Stadium.
I think they will pound the shit out of Northwestern.
I love
I
your
think-
confidence.
I
Half.
think- Okay. I'm gonna put that to one.
Sorry.
I think
You're kidding.
I'm not.
I think
come
Northwestern,
on.
I think Northwestern.
Boo
had
this
their-
man, Adam Beasley
Yes.
says.
Yeah.
I think Northwestern had their
Jason Ringer says
storybook
nobody
season
comes into
last year.
Ross Aid. Sorry, go
Nobody.
on.
Nobody comes into Ross Aid.
Yeah.
And so put me down for a 1. We already got our one
Good guys.
Northwestern
That's
loss
excellent.
out of the way, but
I'm not gonna ever tell somebody not to be optimistic. I
By
love
the
it.
way,
I love hearing.
I want to just, I don't want to lose this one on the right side. Maniacally Steve says, Purdue has a better record against Ohio State over the last 10 years than any other program. Don't fact check this. So I know he's being funny, but
But
without
I
fact
actually
checking,
do
No, he's
can tell
right.
you,
He's absolutely
aside from
correct.
Michigan,
Yeah.
Michigan's got a better record.
Right.
They've beaten them 4 in a row.
Right.
But I think Purdue's over the last 10 years got 3.
Yeah, save Michigan. They do.
But nobody else has that many. Nobody's beaten Ryan Day except
Ask
Michigan.
Ask Penn State about that.
I was going to say Penn State is we're coming up here. So speaking of, Boiler Down, I'm putting you down for half against Northwestern.
serious?
A nice, tasty half.
Very good. Ohio State is next. It is
At
in
Columbus?
the Horseshoe, and
Ooh.
put me down for donut.
Donut. I'll take donut.
An in-person donut. The rumor has
In-person
it.
donuts. Oh, a dozen. Give me a dozen.
You guys got to sell that to me, by the way. I can tell you, I can be sold, but I'm not. You heard my argument already.
Oh, I predicted your argument. I knew
I know.
exactly what you were going to say. and
it's
I still want
Have you guys seen a loss there?
Nope.
no. I've never.
It's
been
not
to a
fun.
football- I've
It's
never been
not
to a football
fun.
game at the Horseshoe. No.
No, it is not fun. Because I
goes
can
to
tell
see
you,
a Purdue
unlike,
loss
so
in
like
every
here,
stadium.
let me just tell you something. If you go to a Notre Dame game, okay, and you interact
Have.
with alums,
Great.
they're not bad.
Nope.
Boston, Notre Dame.
Notre
Penn
Dame
State.
alums,
Penn State.
Penn
Not
State are
bad.
excellent.
Holy
Excellent.
smokes.
Michigan has some fans, even though they're snotty, they got some fans that are all right.
Good. Fan.
Ohio State fans, grad or not, suck.
Yeah. I know.
And they are going to be
But I heard
extremely
they don't
drunk
really,
that
I
day.
heard they don't really fill up that stadium really.
No,
well, so I think
no, there
there'll
won't be a
big-
lot of them there.
I
No.
think there would be a big Purdue contingent, so that'll be fine. Speaking of the friendly foes, Penn State coming to Ross Aid Stadium. It's not out of the realm, but I put this at
That's a zero.
That's a 0. Yeah. That's
3
we don't have to say
zeros for
0.
Penn
We can
State.
say loss. Let's say loss.
Nope,
Not-
0 chance.
We're doing points.
is
That's
what-
right. We're doing
Points,
over,
yeah.
over under right. 1
So
0.
far, the only.
But if I was going to
deviation-
take, if I was going to take one that I think Purdue could steal, that's my steal game.
Yeah,
so far,
I don't hate that. It's one of those things. Like until I've seen it happen, I don't know if
Mhm.
I can.
I
So
think
we would-
I don't see Anthony Chambers walking through that door right now.
the only. I
If
mean,
any-
like
that's the best. By the way, that's the best reference I've had in a long time. I hope
Good.
someone out there appreciates that.
this is not an original thought, but Penn State being destined, James Franklin and Penn State being destined to be the first home loss in college football playoff history is like, it would be just so perfect. So I think they would have to have a successful regular season for that to happen. So that would be great. Let's go to Michigan State at Spartan Stadium.
They're
in
bad.
East Lansing.
They're bad.
They're bad, and they're trying to rebuild culture. I say it's a 1. Give me a 1.
Oh,
I give you a half.
I also say half.
Look at that.
And then the Indiana Fighting Hoosiers, Coach Sig at Memorial Stadium. His first bucket game. Give us tres unos.
I don't like the.
Not a
things
believer.
I've
I
seen.
enjoy having a IU coach that I can just viciously hate right now.
He's going to be great for
He's
that.
so arrogant. He is
Unwarranted.
unwarranted arrogance.
No, do you know he's got awesome James Madison players?
Great.
He brought a lot of good James
work.
Madison players.
That's just like Big Ten football. He told me when they were told they weren't going to be good, they won really a whole bunch of games at James Madison. Same.
I like how
Same. Conference is the same.
And even talks about his play. See, the other thing though is that if you are the kind of the rally the troops kind of, it's us against the world, but really he's doing this to his players too. He's telling his players they suck.
They're great.
Then no, he's actually kind of berating that. Like he's doing the Bobby Knight thing and he's doing the rally the troops.
Working both sides.
Yeah. So it's like, this doesn't work. You're just an a-hole everywhere. Oh, I feel so good when Notre Dame has only likable coaches. That I just
doesn't make any sense.
And Woody, I don't hate Woody. Like I actually think Woody is fine, and so it's just good to have.
No, I did.
But like the thing with Cignetti is that like I think we've all feared that something like Notre Dame is going to happen, where a school you really don't like hires a guy you do like, and you're like, he's good, he's going to be good. I don't feel that way with that. This isn't a hire where I'm like, oh no, this guy's going to change everything.
I don't feel. I feel
right. Like
no, I think they made a decent hire.
Is it
I think they
for
got
them?
an attractive name
for them.
I think again, if Purdue would have ended up with, so here's the test: is that if Purdue would have ended up with their coach, would I have been okay with it or not? I probably would have been on the fence because it's like, yeah, he's an offensive guy and all of this, but it's like the personality to me doesn't fit. But like for the kind of coach that I like, and
isn't
me,
it great?
Like,
isn't that it doesn't fit at all, and it's so great
how
poor of a fit it is.
I don't think it will work out well. I think we will have 3 seasons of this, and
kind of like what's his face basketball at Michigan. Dusty May.
Oh, Dusty.
Oh, a lot of
another weird fit.
Dusty is different. Yeah, it's still not a great fit, but
he's
better.
Like
reserved
good,
and
but,
yeah, exactly.
But I think it just gives me that vibe where it's like this doesn't.
To me, I could actually see IU because he's that rah guy. I could see them having one kind of lightning strike season, and then all of a sudden, like there's no continuity.
They haven't tried the rah coach
foundation
route before, have they? Oh no, they did just try that for 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
but it was a different rah. It was a different brand of rah.
It was a different rah. Yeah, Ray.
Leading them in barbershop quartet singings of the fight.
Yeah, that was weird. Somehow he aged like 15 years between whatever years 3 and 4 or whatever. My gosh!
But like Tom Allen was many things. Hateable is not one of them. It wasn't. It wasn't fun to hate Tom Allen. It was
right.
Like he seemed like a good dude, which is a bummer. Like that's it's.
Well, now he's at Penn State now. He's
Penn State, DC.
Yeah, it's a great.
You get to see him again. He's coming to Ross 8 and see what it's like to win. Ooh. No, I think he actually did win at Ross 8. Now that I think about it. But
anyway, but don't let facts ruin.
Pretend you didn't. Yeah.
Don't let facts ruin.
All right,
this.
Where are we at on this?
Okay,
you still haven't given your over-under because you wanted to play this game.
I got Indiana at a 1-2. So I regret to inform you, J Money and Boiler Down, you've both picked 6 wins for our Purdue Boilermakers.
No, we
6
haven't.
wins.
Because the half wins get us.
Half wins add up. I am at 5.5.
Oh, okay. You act like you're a half game different.
Dude, so the problem with the real world version of that is not that I don't think Purdue's good. I mean, I think they're going to be vastly improved from
definitely
last year.
Better from
I have been consistent on that.
Yep.
But finding that 6th win, I'm telling you, have to steal one. You got to steal one, and I don't know who the stealing comes from.
Doesn't matter.
It's true. Doesn't matter. Just
steal Notre Dame, and the rest is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Can you? Goodness,
grab your mind around that one.
3-0 for me would be just. Oh my gosh.
I mean, to me, you have to build on a foundation of 4 wins for something like a 6-win season to happen. You have to have 4 wins that you feel really good about, and on this schedule, unfortunately, you don't. Indiana State and Indiana to bookend the season are probably the two games you feel decent.
What do you mean feel good about? Good chance or locks? Like, what are you trying to? Like...
To me, to get to that confident 6, which I don't think any of us are.
No.
You would have to have these locks that you feel good, because if not, the locks that we currently have are Illinois, Indiana State, and Indiana. Now,
and 2 of those are on the road, which is a weird way to talk about locks.
and Indiana is more
Yeah,
of
that's
like,
so difficult. That's so
Indiana
difficult.
is more of like we're not going to pick against them. In Illinois, we have
But that will
it's
be
the-
a strong Purdue crowd. I mean,
At IU?
it's gonna be excellent. The Purdue crowd will be excellent. Yes.
At IU, you think? What if they have 5 wins?
Who
That'd be
IU?
Huge. No, if
No,
Purdue has
Purdue.
5 going to IU, it will be a huge
That'd be
turnout.
great. That'd be great.
And Illinois is, if there's one, speaking of the kind of signature win, which Walters doesn't have yet, the closest to a signature win is the thrashing of Illinois, which came as everybody
Right.
was predicting it, and then it came through. That was the one time last season where it was like
It all came
everybody
together.
was saying that this guy was the brains of the operation
Right.
for Burt.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody thought they would throttle
And
him
then
like that.
Pummeled him. It
Right?
was so
Like,
good.
holy
It was
smokes.
so good. And so that's the only reason why we have those 3 locks. I would say those are 3 irrational locks.
Okay. Let me throw it a different way to you. And are you talking about how you get to 6, or are you talking about how you get to 5?
Just how you build. Like, to me,
Okay, well,
it's-
if I throw these games at you and say, would you like Indiana State, Oregon State, Nebraska, Illinois, Northwestern, Michigan State, Indiana. Those sound insane.
doable.
I don't think they
No,
sound
they
crazy.
don't.
sounds doable. It actually
It
sounds doable.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
Was that
like,
5 or 6?
That's 6.
That's 6.
Wow.
Because again, remember, I keep forgetting this, and we led the show with this. There are 18 or whatever, 16 teams in the Big Ten this year, 18 teams in the Big Ten or whatever. And so when you say Purdue will finish 10th in the Big Ten, that should be where our goal is.
Sure.
I mean, like, it
Oh,
feels,
no.
it feels weird, not a goal, but like
Yeah.
we should be aiming there and like to build
Yes, exactly. There you
so
go.
like
I
the
agree with
10th
that.
best recruit, like we should be aiming for the 10th best recruiting class in the Big Ten. We should be.
I think they're
aiming
going to do
for
better than
around
that. I
10.
think that's showing that Walters is better.
So to
Walters
me-
and this group is better.
But
you
it's
leap
hard.
forward if you have some signature wins.
And it's
Right.
but it's so hard now because of how stacked the helmets are in the Big Ten, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you say Nebraska might struggle, Michigan State might struggle, Michigan might take a dip. You know, we don't play Michigan,
Yeah.
this year, but it's like if you're talking about the meat of the middle of the Big Ten. Meanwhile, Purdue is being picked 18th, and I do think. I
They're
don't
not gonna
think
finish 18th.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't think that's irrational. It's kind of new coach, young, unproven, against on
You gotta
paper
put
one of the
somebody
hardest.
there.
Yeah,
And
They got to put
people-
somebody there, but I have a problem with this. I know there are a lot of people who say, well, you got to put somebody there, and nobody was taking a shot at Purdue, but they kind of are. By elevating IU based on just sheer belief in that, I'm like, sorry, I don't think that's fair to put Purdue
Meanwhile-
below that team.
Meanwhile, everybody who talks about Purdue, even those picking them to go 3-9, acknowledge they're going in the right direction. I've seen some analyses that say it's it sucks for Purdue because their schedule's so tough. They're going to be better, but they might not have a better record.
Right.
So you've even got people acknowledging that and putting IU above them, which is
And
the weird thing.
Almost
to me.
everybody acknowledges it.
it very
Right.
exactly, and I think
But
that's
to still put IU above them, if you're acknowledging that, is like kind of weird.
what's
'Cause IU's
nice
done
though.
nothing
That's the respect
that.
that Walters has in the media, which is nice. I mean, like it seems like people do think that Walters is a bright coach, and like he's.
I would push back on you a little bit on that. I think if there was respect for him, they wouldn't be picking him to be last.
No, but I really do think it is just like hey, he's a young guy, and this is the hardest schedule in the Big Ten, and yeah,
I think he's liked, Anish, but I don't think he's respected.
Sure. I can see this. So that's why they're saying, "Oh, it's a bummer. They'll be better, but the wins might not. You might not see it in the wins."
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this is the argument also for Jeff Brom to say like, let's bounce from the Big Ten once it starts expanding. Again, not that he knew, but like to go to or to maybe not Jeff Brom because Louisville is Louisville and all of these kind of things, but like to bounce from a lower to mid tier Big Ten team to a higher tier program in not one of the big.
Well,
two.
who was the one who bounced out of Wisconsin after like 2 years and went out west? Wisconsin's head coach.
Did he go out west?
Who was the one
Before
before Christ? You know what?
Christ is all I was thinking. Blandface is what I was thinking.
Durr.
Yeah, exactly.
What's he doing now? Just sitting on a big chair made of 50s?
He's
With
like,
with some ranch dressing next to him.
he's a
Just
scientist.
Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson, thank you. Even has a blah name. He went to Oregon State. These are
Yeah.
things that just live in my head.
That's like I said. He went out west. See,
Yeah,
I was
he
in
went to
there.
Oregon
I don't
State.
know.
Didn't make
Why
any
don't-
sense.
But you got to
because he
win
got
again
out.
to see that 6-win season. You got to have a road win against Oregon State. You can't slip up against Michigan State, Northwestern, Indiana, Illinois. Like it is
Okay,
that's a
Jay,
tough
let me
thing.
ask you. Anish, let me ask you. Which game's more difficult? Nebraska or at Michigan State?
Nebraska.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I would
Which
say
game's more difficult? Nebraska or at Oregon State?
Nebraska.
Probably Nebraska.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why I had so little confidence in that one.
Yeah.
You guys,
fair.
I mean, like I was like, man, that
Oh.
doesn't feel good to me. So.
It doesn't feel good, but I like it at
It
home.
would be fun. I want
But I don't think I wouldn't put that in that steal category though either. That's
Yeah.
What, it's kind of in between, you're saying?
yeah, it's
not
kind of
a-
in between. It's I mean
Like,
they're
if you
good
win it,
teams.
you're like, we kind of needed to win that. But if they don't win it, you're like, I see why they didn't win.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
well-
if you bump all of us down, we all had a half game there. If you bump all of us down, I think that is probably closer to what we think about the year. You two would be at 5.5. I would be at
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I
exactly that's
so
think
we're
that
all
is-
over the Vegas number of 4.5, though, is the key.
and I don't honestly
You
don't
don't
feel
wanna
great
do that.
about that. But again, like I am looking at the units.
when's Vegas
and-
ever right,
I
guys?
know.
Mm.
I'm looking at the units and I feel much better about them compared to last year.
Yeah.
Walters has a history.
You love looking
of-
at units though.
Oh, I'm big unit. The greatest nickname in sports is the
The big unit.
Nothing has come close. It's so good.
Stuff.
Especially considering his real name. Anyway,
Exactly.
that it's tremendous. Thank God for sports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like the offensive line is really great. I love the defensive unit. I am less confident about Card and the wide receivers, but there is room to grow.
How
There
dare
is
you.
reason for
Talk
optimism.
about my
there.
Hudson Card that way.
I think Jay's
He's
all
so
of Jay's love. It's
I
not
drew this
unrequited this year.
picture.
I think we see it. We see the Hudson Card that Jay's always known in his heart.
Doodle on my notebook.
Oh, he's
Exactly.
so handsome, man. His jawline.
HC.
All you're doing is
Ah,
drawing his
Jay
jawline.
Card.
Oh. Jay Card. That's so stupid.
So dumb. So dumb. Oh, it's
How do you know
good.
he wouldn't take my name?
This is true.
Hudson Money.
Hudson money. Hudson money. Either way, you're gonna wear.
Maybe
his
we'd
jersey.
hyphenate. How do you know?
Exactly. That's
Card money or money,
Money
card.
card.
Oh, money card.
money
It's
card.
right
That's actually
there.
awesome.
It's right there.
That's awesome.
So Purdue's going bowling this year, and we're going.
And we're all going.
And
Oh,
we're all going.
Tickets
We're
on
be in
all,
Nashville.
we're
We
all
can just
going
book-
to Manhattan.
Going to Nashville,
We're all
Manhattan.
oh wait, the Bronx, right?
The Bronx is where Yankee Stadium is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we.
Oh, that would be
Running straight
dreadful.
into a wall.
It'd be right here, and yet I would be like,
Yeah, I don't want to go.
I'll
I don't
dr-
wanna do
I'll
it.
Go to, I'll
You
go
can't make me
to-
do it.
I'll go to Jersey and watch it at your place. I'm not going to go to the
We'll tailgate outside in the
Yeah,
driveway.
I'll make the trip. But like,
then-
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, guys, I got to tell you, I think we've solved a lot tonight.
Oh, I think this has
good
been a lot
meeting.
of progress.
Good
After,
production
good meeting. Good meeting. Thanks to
Let's
everybody
schedule
who.
the live soon.
Thanks. We'll get the notes out to everybody.
Okay.
So I want everyone to put it down, pencil it into your planner. The handsome hour will be Monday nights, 9:00 ish.
We were good about it last year. We did every week last year.
No, and we're gonna be good about it this week.
We
This
are.
year, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And I think my weekly gibberish will change. It will change. It will not be exactly the same.
And it'll be like one of those, the shows will have like in the credits, like it'll be like starring in niche, and then after all the other things, it'll say special guest
Featuring.
appearance by Michael Henry. Like, because
Yes.
every once in a while he shows
It
up.
just shows up exactly
Right,
in
so
a
it gets
leather.
that little like credit,
like a-
that little billing, like Michael Henry.
After
He's
Oregon,
making,
after Purdue beats
guitars,
Oregon.
by the way. Now he's making guitars.
It's incredible. He just
bananas.
keeps on picking up these habits, and he's pretty good at all of them.
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
I'm good at nothing.
Mechanically, Steve stole your line.
Yeah, it's too early. Okay, but we're about to say it. So, gentlemen, it's been fun. Ladies and gentlemen who joined us live, been excellent. Thanks to Craig Mockabee, Uncle Craig, for getting there. And by the way, to answer a question, yes, Vinny Sutherland did return punts at Purdue, and that's not even ancient history. So you had a pretty valuable player back there returning punts. I love you guys. Good night.